The river is very different as it starts in Jackson, just a bubbling brook. By the time it gets down to Grand Rapids, it's a very, very large river, and it is the longest river in Michigan, but that means it's a very large watershed, and it's a runoff system. The water in the Grand River comes from runoff. Not much of it is groundwater fed, like some of the other colder streams in the area, and so when it rains and when there's a storm, it has a tremendous response. I'm Wendy Ogilvie. I'm the Director of Environmental Programs at the Grand Valley Metro Council. We are the champion organization for all things Grand River.
It takes 15 minutes for a raindrop to get to the Grand River in West Michigan. I'm Elaine Starrett-Isley. I'm the Director of Water Programs at the West Michigan Environmental Action Council. We focus on water protection and sustainable communities, but with the sort of the eye of having individuals and communities take on the responsibility of what they can do to protect the environment.
Anytime we can incorporate green infrastructure, which basically means keeping stormwater where it lands, having it soak into the ground at its source, that gives it some extra time to soak into the groundwater and then much slower input into the river system.
We do not have very many stormwater utility fees in Michigan because of a Michigan Supreme Court case that makes it a little more challenging for communities to implement that. There's a lot of political pushback for those types of fees as well. This is an old brownfield site. It was a long time ago, well before my time here in Grand Rapids. It was a gas station. It was capped. And when I first moved here more than 20 years ago, it was just a field. But when the site was built, it was built for WMEAC's use as a demonstration site. So we have the green roof up here. We have the rain garden in back. So right now we are a zero runoff site. All of the rain that hits this site either is taken up by the roof. There's a little overflow. You can see there's a pipe that comes out down there. So and everything is routed to go into the rain garden.
We are at North Park Montessori School, which is part of the Grand Rapids Public School System, and we were able to secure a Great Lakes Restoration Initiative grant, and our grant was really focused on green infrastructure and education, and so we really wanted to pair schools with what they could do on their property with green infrastructure, and again keeping rain at its source. We went in first and talked to the classroom. We gave them, before we said anything, we gave them a little quiz. What did they know about rain, storms, water, anything? And then we talked to them and we showed them pictures, and so we worked with them a couple times. Then we came back with this idea for this bioswale, and they helped pick the plants, the kind of colors they wanted, the seasons that they wanted the plants to bloom. And so then they came out and they started digging. And they did a lot of the planting, actually most of the planting, in a partnership with the City of Grand Rapids and Native Plant Guild, who supplied all the plants. Luckily we have 60 kids who are eager to get their hands dirty. With just a little bit of guidance, they've been able to pull weeds, and we are taking out rocks so we can take the sediment out. But it is a long-term commitment, and so until the plants really get established and it's really doing well, it's going to need maintenance.
We don't do our work alone. We work with the City of Grand Rapids. We work with Grand Rapids Public Schools. We have a number of partners, the neighborhood associations. There are a lot of organizations that are doing stormwater, education, other environmental programs, and there's a lot of overlap in what we do. It's kind of a running joke. Oh, this is the third meeting I've seen you at in 2 days. So I mean, there's a lot of partners that do a lot of really good things, and there's a lot of work to do.